A far-ranging review of health and social care in England is being launched by the government to ensure investment is used effectively and to reduce regional disparities in health outcomes.
We can speak live now on Breakfast to the Health Secretary, Sajid Javid, who joins us from our London newsroom. Morning to you, Mr Javid.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on Saturday morning. It sounds like this is kind of what levelling up in the health department, as you would say in the government. But I mean, it's a sad reflection that this is needed, really, isn't it, this reorganisation?
I think we'll all agree over the last 18 months that NHS and care has seen its most challenging time in living memory, and I'm full of praise for everyone that's worked in health and care, especially during that period. We're supporting recovery with a record investment, the biggest the NHS and care has ever seen, and I want to make sure every penny of that counts, and that's what this review is about. It's about a leadership review, a wide-ranging leadership review led by Sir Gordon Messenger, to make sure that when we look to the future and look at that investment in the NHS, that we recognise that the NHS has some of the very best people working in it across the country, and that it has some phenomenal leaders, but to look at how we can replicate that leadership across the NHS so that every patient, no matter where they live, is getting the best possible care.
Can we talk about jabs? I know you like talking about jabs, but we've heard from BBC Breakfast viewers this morning, people who are sick, immunosuppressed, desperate to get that booster jab, who say there are really long delays, that they haven't heard yet, haven't been invited, and they're worried about when it's going to happen. How do you reassure them that this is in hand?
Well, I mean, first of all, I can say that those jabs, the ones that you referred to, they've started, in fact, those together with boosters. I think yesterday we announced there's been 860,000 such jabs. But in terms of the people that specifically that you refer to, those that are immunosuppressed and particularly vulnerable, they have been prioritised, rightly so. And the NHS, through GP networks, primarily are reaching out to each and every one of them and making sure that they will get their offer of the jab. Now, the vast majority have. And what I'm told by the NHS is that over the next 7 days, they will make sure that every single person has been contacted and given that opportunity to come in and get their jab, their third jab.
So that'll happen in the next week?
Well, it's already happening, but it will be complete in the next week. That's the plan.
OK, can I talk as well about this story on the front page of The Sun today? They're reporting that 5 England football players haven't had a jab, are refusing to be jabbed. What does that kind of thing do to your overall message about the importance of immunisation? Because these guys are role models, especially for younger people. And we know that younger people, the immunisation rates seem to have stalled a bit.
Look, I'd say first this. I mean, first, the good news is that overall our vaccination programme, our big wall of defence that we've built, has been phenomenally successful. We've got over 90% of people with one jab and some 80%, more than 80% of adults with their double jabs. And that's fantastic by international standards, by any standard, that's fantastic. But as you say, there's still some people, and I estimate around over 5 million people across the UK that have not had a single jab. And that really, what I would say to those people is that, you know, if you're eligible for a jab, you should come forward. It doesn't just protect you, because it most certainly will protect you, but it also helps protect others and your loved ones around you. So it's not just about yourself, it's about your community, your society, and helping to protect each other and making sure that we can keep this virus at bay. It's our best form of defence. It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity footballer or whoever you are, the jab is there for everyone to help you and to help your community.
Can I talk to you in your former role as Home Secretary? Because the case of Sarah Everard has caused so much shock and upset across the whole country this week. The Prime Minister went on television last night and had to tell women that they should be able to trust the police. I mean, you Conservatives have always claimed to be the party of law and order. When your Prime Minister has to go on telly and tell women they can trust the police, something's gone badly wrong on your watch, hasn't it?
Well, I think we can all understand the reaction of the whole country to this appalling case and what's happened to Sarah Everard, and I'm sure all our thoughts are still with the family and friends. But the way I see it is this, especially as a former Home Secretary, is that, you know, I was able, as Home Secretary, to see the police working up close, and I saw the fantastic work the police do day in, day out to protect us, the lives that they save on a daily basis. I think it is precisely for that reason that we were all shocked by what happened to Sarah Everard. And it's not anything, of course, anyone would associate with an organisation that is there to protect us. We do need to learn from that. I think what the police themselves, the Metropolitan Police, have said about the reforms that they will be looking at, I think is absolutely right. We need to also be looking at what more government can do to help build that confidence, building on the violence against women and girls strategy that was published in the summer. This is obviously an appalling, shocking case, and we must make sure that at least something that comes out of this is that we can give more confidence to more women about their own safety.
I mean, you've spoken publicly in the past about the fact you've got teenage daughters yourself. Yeah. What do you say to them when this comes up at the breakfast table this morning, when they're asking, can I trust the police?
Well, I think, like any other parent, I would reassure them. And I think two of my teenage daughters are in London, and they, like any other person, but especially I think young women after this tragedy, are asking lots of questions. I'm also lucky enough, though, to have members of my own family that are in the police as well. And my daughters have clearly got to know them as well, and I think they would know, like I think we hopefully all know, that on a daily basis the police are out there, helping us, saving our lives. As Home Secretary, I'll never forget the day I went to the Police Bravery Awards and just learnt about some of the huge acts of bravery done by police, and this happens all the time. So we must learn from this horrific case, and it's rightly shocked the whole nation. It shocked me, of course, like everyone else hearing about this case, but it shocked me because also in my mind, as a Home Secretary, a former Home Secretary, I also knew about the fantastic work the police does. So yes, let's have the reform and let's work together as government with the police to see what more we can do to give confidence.
A lot of people, a lot of women, shocked too by the Met Police's public reaction to this week. I mean, the fact that they've put out a statement urging women, if they're worried about an arrest and a police officer cautioning them, telling them that they could flag down a bus to try to get help and try to get things. There we go. We're just showing on the screen now. This is how women can verify an officer's identity and intentions. Flag down a bus if you're worried. I mean, how do you explain that to your daughters?
No, I'm not. I don't think it would be appropriate for me to get into the detail of what the Met have said and why they've said it. I assume that they've been thinking about this carefully. What I do hope, though, is that over the coming weeks and months and perhaps even longer, that the Met and police more generally will certainly, I think, look at what further things that they can do to give that confidence, and I think that's the important part of this, and also what we in government can do. And I think what the Home Secretary had to say yesterday about how the government respond was precisely the right reaction.
OK, well, I tell you what Sue Fish just told us on breakfast a few minutes ago. She, as you know, is a former Chief Constable of Nottinghamshire Police. Yeah. She said flagging down a bus, seriously, this again puts the responsibility on women instead of putting it on the police. Now, you don't want to get involved in the specifics, but that's a really important that you as a government come out on this, isn't it? Because this is a striking message, and it's going to be something a lot of people are going to be thinking about and talking about.
Yeah, it's as I say, I think it's really important that the police and the government, we work together to help rebuild confidence, because that is certainly going to be required after this horrific incident, and give that reassurance to people generally, but especially women up and down the country.
Let's talk about a member of your own party, the Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner in North Yorkshire, Philip Allott. He said yesterday that Sarah Everard should never have submitted to Wayne Couzens. Now, he's issued an apology, but some people are saying that's just not enough. He should go. Do you think he should go?
Well, look, what he said was obviously is completely wrong. I'm pleased that he's apologised and retracted of what he said. Clearly the response to this terrible tragedy is a response for the police, for government more broadly.
Yeah, but what about him? Should he go? That's what a lot of people are saying, that was just failing to read the room, failing to understand the situation, failing to understand the anger of so many women.
Well, I think all those three failures you said are absolutely right on his part, and I'm not. I don't know enough about him and his track record and things to tell you about what further action should be taken. But what I do absolutely agree with, which I think with the reaction of almost everyone, is that what he said was completely wrong in every way. And you know, obviously he should reflect on that, but it's right that he's apologised.
I'm sure this is going to be one of the issues, justice, crime, which will dominate the Tory party conference as you arrive in Manchester in the next few days. But also on the minds of lots of viewers this morning will be fuel. They've waited in their cars to get fuel this week, despite assurances from the government. People are still really worried. The army are going to be helping with deliveries from Monday. Can you reassure our viewers today that in a week's time this will be sorted?
Look, there's enough fuel in the country. There always has been. Over the last few weeks, there hasn't been a problem with the actual supply of fuel in the country. What we have seen is a challenge in terms of the number of drivers, basically the tanker drivers that are necessary to get that fuel to every part of the country. I think the measures that have been taken over the last couple of weeks are certainly helping. It seems the situation is stabilising. It's not completely over yet, because that's one of the reasons the army have been asked to help, and I think that will start from Monday. But it is stabilising, and I think the most reassuring message that I can give to everyone is that there is enough fuel in this country for everyone. If everyone just goes back to normal, I say, in terms of just filling up for what they actually need, then that will certainly help the situation.
Yeah, but to somebody who's going out, wants to drive to a football match or something this weekend, or go and see relatives for Sunday lunch tomorrow, and they're looking and say, well, I'll try and stick to normal, but then I'm worried about next week. The army going out on Monday, is this going to be over in a week's time?
I think with the support that's been put in place, the changes, for example, around the driving rules themselves, the extra visas that are being issued for some other drivers, the relaxing of the competition regulations for the fuel suppliers, the army and the work that they can do, I think all
which
of
I
those
should say, these are all things that you said.
These are all
things that you said that you wouldn't do originally, and then you as a government have done them.
Look, I think the government is right to constantly monitor the situation and do what is necessary. That's what's happening. It's stabilising the situation, and I think we will absolutely see it continue to improve.
OK, Sajid Javid, thanks for joining us on Breakfast this morning. Thank you.